So the reason I was not on Friday and Saturday night as I normally am is that I went to meet my hero, Danny. Some of you know him as Grandpa Danny, Keep Them Accountable Danny, Justice Over Tyranny Danny. You know, Danny is a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who was at one point the number one recruiter for the Army in all of America. I just, I want to capture this because this gets recorded and I want to have this for the rest of my life. I had the absolute honor of my life because I got to meet him and his absolutely wonderful wife, Carol. I mean, I'm just overjoyed. But I'll go by and I'll try to wrap everything up quickly because we packed a lot into 3 days, and I'm not going to cover all of the tedious details, but I'll just give you the broad strokes. So it's no secret that Danny um, gave a huge sacrifice to his country and for all of us. He gave up his health. He gave up, parts of his body. Took a hot round in the temple. This guy paid the ultimate sacrifice, just shy of the complete sacrifice that soldiers sometimes give. And thank goodness for that. Thank goodness he's still here. Because, getting to know him over the last 7 months on this platform, I already knew who he was. You've heard me speak many, many times about him, how much I respect him, how much I revere him as a human being, because I know lots of people like Danny who are bitter and angry at the world for going through even less than what he went through. And I don't judge them for that. I understand you have a right to be angry if America used and abused you, and broke your body, broke your heart, broke your spirit, broke your emotions. Some people never recover. But somehow, Danny has a heart as big as the ocean. Just a beautiful human being who loves everybody, who cares about everybody, who is generous beyond belief. He kept wanting to reimburse me for my hotel or this or that, and I was like, no. You don't understand. This is my honor to be here. You're not spending a dime while I'm here. And I don't do that to be a braggart or to show off. It's just a reflection of my love and admiration for him. And so imagine me feeling how I do about him and flying cross country just so I could shake his hand, look in his eyes, and say, I love you. That was my whole reason for going. I felt it for a long time, but I didn't want to say it for the first time on a social media platform. I wanted to be looking in his eyes when I said it. And I got my wish fulfilled. And as I said earlier, I know the predominating wisdom is it's a mistake to meet your heroes because they can only disappoint you. Well, I'm the exact opposite of that. It was better than I could have imagined. Danny is funny, got stories for days, compelling, interesting stories, and he tells them well. He's got an outrageously energetic laugh, still sharp mentally, sharper than the next 10 30-year-olds combined. and just a caring, loving human being, which is reflected in the wife that he chose. And I absolutely loved hearing their origin story. That was one of the things that I wanted to do when I was there, is because you catch bits and pieces over time, but I was like, I want to hear the whole story from start to finish, how it all came to be, and what a great story that was. And then, we sat there at one point Saturday afternoon when we were eating. It just was me, Jordan, and Danny for a few hours, just sitting there talking, swapping stories, laughing our asses off. Then came back Sunday, and as I didn't even imagine that it could have gotten better than it already was. But then we had some one-on-one time. Danny and I went to brunch after Danny finished vet talk, and I got to have a few hours with him all to myself. And I'm telling you, guys like Danny are rare. They're a national treasure. And guys like Danny used to, not like Danny, guys that looked like Danny, let me be precise about that. Guys that looked like Danny used to terrorize me when I was a child. They used to come out of their homes when I was 9, 10, 12, literally would open their doors to come out to yell ugly words at me, racial epithets, threats. They'd slow down their cars. Sometimes they would stop. Sometimes they would surround me and say horrible things to me, and I had to fight my way through that on several occasions. So to meet a guy like Danny on this goofy platform that was invented for children, which I just expected to be another platform. Now, I admire a lot of people that I've met on here. I like a lot of people that I've met on here. And I love a couple of people that I've met on here, but there is no one like Danny. Nowhere else in my life do I know a man like Danny. So I will be forever grateful to this goofy platform for connecting me with Danny. I only had one other hero in my life, and that's a man I never got to meet, which is George Carlin. He informs a lot of what I am. And my second hero ever in my life is Danny. And thank goodness I got to meet him face to face. And I hope to do it again. But if for whatever reason I don't get a chance to, you can't take away this experience from me. It's going to live inside of me forever and just be a cherished part of who I am for the rest of my life.